Hello, I am Cassie with Heart to Heart Stitches. Today we are going to be tea dyeing our finished product. You can see here I have a pile of my stitcheries that are ready to be tea dyed. You will notice that I have already stitched on my muslin and my warm and natural. Some people prefer to tea dye their fabric before they stitch, but I personally prefer to do the tea dye after, so the tea kind of pools around your stitches and gives it a unique effect. You can see the supplies I have out today. I have a cookie sheet lined with tin foil, and I have another cookie sheet since I'm going to be tea dyeing several items for my dipper tray. So it can be any sort of pan that you want to fill with your tea. I also have a glass measuring cup. With this glass measuring cup, it needs to be something that can be put in the microwave to boil your water. And then I have tea bags. I just used the cheapest brand at Walmart. And then, of course, your foil for your foil-lined pan. With your tea, I have 2 cups of water because I'm doing several stitcheries. If I were to be doing one stitchery, I would just do 1 cup of water, but then you need to do double strength tea. So 1 cup of water to 2 cups tea bags. Since I boiled 2 cups of water, I have 4 tea bags here, and I'm just letting them seep and get nice and dark. After the water has cooled off a little bit, I've done this previously, it's cooled off a little bit just to touch. I'm still very hot for a child, but I just carefully squeeze out the excess tea and then place your tea bags over here to the side. You can use something to stir it up if you want, but less tools is better for me when you're in the kitchen, less cleanup. You just pour the tea directly onto your stitchery, and then I just take my hands, still very hot, and kind of pat the tea around. I like to saturate both layers, so I saturate the top layer of the muslin, and also I make sure it goes through to the back. You can see how this middle part, oh, my ugly back, that's embarrassing. It's gone through both layers there in the middle. I still need to work on it on the bottom. But I like to get it nice and saturated. Some people then wring out the excess tea. Especially with fall items, I like my tea dye to be a little bit darker, so I'll keep the excess tea in. If you find that after you've tea dyed it's too dark, while the stitchery is wet, you can now run this under cold water and wring it out, and it will lighten back up. Not, all the way, but it takes out a lot of the color. Now I'm nice and saturated, so I'm going to go ahead and move my stitchery to my foil-lined sheet, my foil-lined pan, and then I'm ready to place this in the oven. I will put this on the pattern instructions. I say put it in the oven at 200 until dry. For a darker look, I go in the oven at 350 degrees for 5 to 7 minutes. You can then pull it out when it's still wet and let it finish drying when it's outside, and it will give your stitchery a nice effect. So we'll just go ahead and put this in the oven, and then just make sure you stay in the kitchen as it cooks, and then enjoy your unique handcrafted tea-dyed stitchery.